Chief Meteorologist James Sahara and Storm Track 8 weather. Sponsored by Carpetland.
Check out this extreme winter sport. It's snow kiting. Skiers are tethered to that kite, kind of like a parachute used in skydiving. Skiers then let the wind carry and push them all across the snow.
That's very cool.
Yeah. That looks really neat.
I would have done that 30 years ago, 35.
Keep going.
We need a little more snow cover. We did
40,
not get that this winter.
No, not all due to El Nino. That's what we've been doing. I think
Maybe
we've seen over 20
years
inches.
ago.
He's still counting. Yeah, it's only 20 inches of snow we've seen so far. And, looks like we're going to be getting a little bit more out there. Here's the winter weather advisory if you're just joining us, folks. And it's mainly north of Highway 34, south of Highway 20. This is where most of the snowfall will be taking place. So it does cover the immediate Quad Cities, Clinton, going to Sterling Rock Falls, Geneseo, Princeton, points eastward, heading in the Chicagoland area. This is an area where we're talking about 1 to 3 inches of snow. Some isolated spots, especially farther east as you go, could very likely see maybe 4 inches of this wet snow. And the reason for this winter weather advisory is not just about the snowfall, but the timing. We expect the snow to be tapering off sometime right around morning commute. So this is where you want to give yourself a little bit more time as far as, getting that shoveling done. Now, here's what we are seeing on the radar right now. So what we're seeing mainly east of the river, this is actually not reaching the ground, but it's helping to saturate that air. And once it does, then we start seeing some of those snowflakes begin to fly. Farther south as you go, temperatures are going to be warming up that we may be talking about a mix, especially along Highway 34 and points southward. This is a pretty good wave that we're seeing just east of Des Moines. So we expect that to expand in coverage and expect to see some of that snow begin to fly around here, I would say sometime after 9 or 10 o'clock. And then farther east as you go sometime later on in the night. Should be more widespread in coverage as we head later on tonight during the wee hours of the morning. That will continue on until the last of the snowflakes comes to an end sometime, I would say, after 7 or 8 o'clock tomorrow night. That's going to leave behind just some cloud cover for the remainder of our Thursday. Now, as far as snowfall amounts are concerned, I would say we could be about a plus or minus half an inch in some of these hometowns, but this looks pretty good. I would say around 2 inches or so in the Quad Cities. Farther east as you go, this is where we may add another inch or so. Okay, so that's where right along Interstate 80, 88, that's where things could get a little dicey. Farther south as you go, and not much snowfall we see right now, least expected, so roadways should be fine. Nonetheless, we're going to keep an eye on it as we go through the evening and overnight hours. Any changes, we will let you know on WQAD.com, even on our Facebook or even our Twitter page. Now, what's going to do as far as temperatures? Keep them in the 30s for daytime highs, low mid 30s from Galena right through Silvis, Sterling Rock Falls, Clinton. Go about 34 for your daytime high, Kewaunee as well, where it's going to be more of a rain or rain-snow mix. Temperatures could be more in the upper 30s, like around Mount Pleasant and Burlington, and the Quad Cities. We're looking at a daytime high of 35 degrees. And keep in mind, there's going to be a brisk northeast wind, so it's going to feel more like in the 20s come tomorrow. Next chance of wet weather comes Friday night with this little wave coming in from the northwest, maybe a light little rain shower or two. But then after that, things really begin to quiet down nicely. All that warm air across the west, that's going to be making its way eastward. We'll expect those temperatures right back in the 60s as we head into early next week. Temperatures for tonight dropping down around the upper 20s. Snow will be developing 1 to 3 inches, isolated spots about 4. Once again, that's going to be well east of the Quad Cities for that. And then snow will be tapering early, 35 I see for the daytime high. That should be enough to keep those temperatures in the 30s heading into Friday. And then we see that transition to warmer numbers and in a big way as we get into early next week. Still looking at Tuesday being the warmest out of our next 8 days with numbers in the upper 60s. That will come with maybe our next round of some showers and thunderstorms. What a turnaround from one season to the next in just 8 days.
Big time. Thanks, James.
Yep.
Well, by this time last year, our viewing area had seen nearly 40 inches of snow. This year, we've only gotten about half that amount. News 8's Caroline Reinwald explains how that lack of snowfall is actually saving some cities a lot of money.
It's a sight we haven't seen much of lately. With record low snowfalls in the area this season, the streets don't need to be plowed.
It's kind of minimal this year compared to last year.
Only one of these compartments of salt is nearly empty here at the Silvis Public Works Department lot. The rest of them are completely full. sitting here unused. The city of Silvis has seen less than half the amount of snowfall this year compared to last.
That's reduced our salt use about 400 tons, and it's reduced our overtime about 250 hours.
Saving them $43,000, about 15% of their street department budget. In Moline and Rock Island, they're only a few months into their calendar year, which means their savings won't be seen until months down the road. What can be seen is the unusually full domes of salt.
Typically at this time of year, we're sort of running on our last little bit of salt. So the benefit of the warm winter is you're more prepared for the following winter.
Across the river in Davenport, the savings are seen in the Public Works Department paychecks, where they've spent $100,000 less in overtime. Of course, the workers who depend on that money aren't as excited about the lack of snowfall this winter.
I'm happy to see it, but I think these younger guys are not. It impacts each guy's yearly wage, that's for sure, but there will be years where we're going to go out like 30 to 40 times.
Hours that can now be spent working on other important maintenance, saving the city time and money. Caroline Reinwald, WQAD News 8.
But taxpayers may like it. In Silvis, the money saved from this season's mild winter will be funneled back into the general fund. Still ahead on News 8 at 6, fast food conversation.
How Chick-fil-A is trying to get families to talk more during a meal at the restaurant.